Hi everyone, welcome to episode 16 of the Django and React full stack series. And in this episode, we are going to work on updating users' profiles. So without further ado, let's get started right now. So when do we update user profiles? So here's how it's going to happen. It's going to happen just like the updating of blog posts. So when do we update a user profile? A user must be logged in. So once the user is logged in and you're on the profile page, so here's what's going to happen. So if you are the owner of the profile, for example, now this profile now belongs to Clinton, and currently there is no logged in user yet. There is no logged in user yet. So you can see we have to log in. So right now I'm going to log in as let's say um, let me see what the user's name is here. Let's go down to the user. Let's go down to the profile page. User is called Clint. So I'm going to log in as Clint right now. Let me input Clint's password. Sign in. Yep. So right now I am logged in. I am logged in as Clinton. Right. So if I go down to the profile page, so right now this is Daniel. This is Daniel's profile, and currently Clinton is logged in. Right. So here's how it's gonna be. So I'm going to go down to Clinton's profile page. Clinton's page. Yeah. So right now Clinton is logged in. Right. And this is Clinton's profile. Right, so once the user is currently on his profile page, once the owner of the profile is currently on the profile page, I want to simply display a pen icon here. So through that pen icon, the user will be able to click on that pen icon, then a modal will pop up, and on that modal, there's going to be a form to update your profile. It's as simple as that. This is Clinton Jr. So his username is called Clint, right? So we are going to verify now if this user is actually the logged in user. So let's see. Let's verify that. So back to our app components. So we are going to simply back to the app components. Go over to your UI components folder. So we have the app.gxs file. App.gxs. Where are you? So here is this. So in this file, we have the username. This is the logged in user, right? So I'm going to pass this value as a prop down to the profile page. And here's our profile page. So over here, I'll just say auth username. I'm going to call it auth username because I'm trying to avoid it. I'm trying to avoid a name clash on the profile page because on the profile page, we already have username there, which is this. So I'm trying to avoid a name clash. That's why I call it auth username. So that's my profile page. I'm going to receive this prop called auth username. So what we're going to do is simple. So just around, so over to so I'm going to pass this auth username as a prop down to my hero components because the pen icon will be displayed in this hero component. So over to our hero components, I'm going to pass this auth username as a prop. Pass it here. I'm also okay, yeah, that's what I need to do. So I'm going to receive this prop in the hero components. It's called auth username. So yeah, that's it. Remember, the auth username is simply referring to the logged in username you get. The username is simply referring to the username of the logged in user. Hope you understand. So that's what the auth username simply means. So I'm going to simply come over here. Yeah, so just in this div, in this parent div, so just under this span, I'm going to add a condition. I'm going to just simply say if user info dot username, if it's equal to auth username, if they are the same thing, I want to simply display the pen icon, right? So that's it now. So you have to import this pen icon. So you know the trick. Go down to React icons and then search for the pen, and you get the import statement. So right now I'll paste in the import statement up here. So I expect you to know how to get the pen icon. from React icon. So I've added this condition now. So once the logged in users, once the username of the logged in user is the same thing as the author's username, that means the logged in user is currently on his profile. And once it's on his profile, we are going to give him the ability to update his profile. So right now, let's see. You can see we have the pen icon displaying here. That's because the logged in user is cleansed, and this is his profile. If I go down to a different profile page right now, I'm going to go over to Daniel's profile. So here's Daniel's profile now. This is Daniel's profile, and currently Clinton is logged in. That's why we can't see the pen icon. You get, this is Dan. You can see the username is called Dan, and we have Clint as a logged in user, so we can't see the pen icon there. Hope you understand. So I'm going to go back. So I'm going to go back to Clinton's page. Here's Clinton's page now. Click back here. So we're back where we are here now. So you can see the pen icon. So the pen icon is there. So what's the next step? So the next step is this now. Whenever I click on the pen icon, I want to simply pop up the update form modal instead. Let's work on that next. We want to display the modal whenever we click on the pen icon. So that'll be done on the profile page. So go over to our profile page. Remember, we already built our modal components in a previous episode where we had to update blog posts. So we are going to do the same thing again. Just here, we're going to add our modal. I'm going to just say modal. Right, so let's import modal. I'm going to say import modal. Import modal. So just as for me, yeah, so that's it. Okay, so go to our modal here. So this modal is going to accept a children prop, and that children prop is going to simply be our sign up page. So we're going to use the same page for creating users. We're going to use that same page, that same form to update users profile. I'm going to say sign up page. So we've got that already. Perfect. So this modal, if you go down to the profile page now, you see the modal is now covering the entire profile page. So we want to avoid this now. So how do we avoid? We're going to add a new state in the profile page. We're going to just say const show modal. Now say set show modal. It's going to be equal to use state. The value is going to be false by default. So right now we're going to simply wrap our modal around the show modal. So if show modal is true, that's when you're. So if show modal is true, that's when you're meant to display the modal. So if show modal is true, so currently show modal is false, modal disappear. Boom, it's off the page now. So we are going to use this pen icon to toggle the modal. So we are going to make if show modal is false, if you click on the pen icon, the modal will come up, will pop up instead. So let's work on that now. So we're going to simply add a function here. I'll say const toggle modal should be equal to. I'm going to use an arrow function this time. I'll just say set show modal. It's going to simply negate I'm going to say set show modal. I'll simply negate the value of show modal. That's what this function does. So I'll pass this guy as a prop over to where? We'll pass this function as a prop over to the heroes components. I have to receive it there. And then whenever I click on the pen icon, here's a pen icon. Yeah, here's a pen. I'm going to say on click. Whenever I click on the pen icon, I'm going to simply display this form. Right? Yeah, so that's it. And I also need to pass this function as a prop down to our modal components. Yeah, so when it starts, yeah, so where's the modal? I'm going to open our modal component right away. Click on it. So yeah, so already have it. Yeah, this is it here. So we are already receiving this from the previous episode where we worked on updating blog posts. So we've got this already. Yeah, so we've got this. So this function is This function is simply responsible for closing the modal. So when you click on, so right now I'm going to show what it's doing now. So I click on this pen, it brings up the modal. So right now this function you see here is what is responsible for closing the modal. So if you click on the outer part of the form, not the form itself, but on the outside, the modal is meant to close, but it's not closing. So we're going to see the problem is now. So you pass in toggle modal. Let's see if it is the same name. Over to the profile page, we called it toggle modal. And over here, it's called toggle modal. And our modal component does not, it's meant to close this, but it's not closing it. Okay, there was no error at all. I had to just refresh. I had to just like close the VS Code and then reopen it again and then run my server for it to work. There was no error. I don't know why VS Code does like that sometimes. So right now, this is Clinton's profile. So you can update, he can decide to update his profile. Click on the pen icon, the form pops up. Right now, the form is not in its best shape yet. This form is not yet in its best shape. We are going to see adjust the form to shoot an update profile form. So yeah, the form is open now, so you can always click out to close the form. So that's it. So right now, let's simply customize the form a little bit. So we're going to customize the form a little bit now. So over to our profile page now. So over to our profile page. So we're going to simply pass in this data. Right, we're going to pass in this data. I'll just call this over to our sign up page. I'm going to just say user information, user info should be equal to data, right? So I think this is much more meaningful. User information, user info. And I also give this, and I also give this, and I also give our sign up page a new prop, and I'll call it update form should be equal to true. So now this value, so once we are, so that's it now. Update form should be equal to true. So the default value will be false. So if update form is true, we are going to simply customize the form to look like an update form. You get, so I'm going to open I need to open the sign up page right away. Remember, the sign up page is doing two things. This creating a new user is also going to update an existing user. That's what the sign up page component is now doing. So I'll open this. So remember, we passed in two props, user info and update form, right? So over to our sign up page now. So you're going to receive those two props. So up here, I'm going to say user info and update form. So right now we have to do some tweaking. Okay, just say now. So just say if update form. Okay, let's just do some tweaking. So if update form is true, I want to simply display updates profile form, or we'll simply display sign up form. That's the first thing. And also, want to also adjust the styling. So remember, look at how it looks like. If you click here, so we have our update form already up here. That's perfect. So this wants also adjust the styling. It is taking. Let's adjust it. So let's reduce the height, and we're also going to give it an overflow. So back here, just copy out. This is the styles for the form. Just copy it out. Just cut it. Cut it. We're going to just, and now we'll simply just say if update form. I'm going to simply add some styles. We're going to just say the height should now be, we're going to say 90% of the screen. And we're going to also give it an overflow of auto. and then we'll append. Then we are going to add remaining styles that we copied out. And let's see how it looks like. Click on it. Perfect, right? This is better. So right now, let's simply adjust the form to look like a proper update form. So right now, back to the form now. So over here, this where we have this. So over here now, we're going to adjust this text to suit both the update form and also the sign up form. So I'm going to say, if update form, if it is true, I want to just say you can tell us more about you. You can tell us more about you, else you create a new account, right? It's called update small u, update form. Let's see what it looks like. Click. Okay, perfect. Let me just add the period, full stop. Okay, and as for the sign up button, let's simply adjust that. Okay, just come over here and say, I'll just wrap. Let me just, okay. I think I can put this guy back there. No, okay, let's just, so here's the button. I'll just wrap it. And I'll say if update form is true. If it is true, okay, we're gonna have a separate button element. I'll just copy this guy. Control C. Now paste this one here. So here is gonna be our update button. Else. So if update form is true, we are gonna have our update button, and I'm gonna just change this to, let me just say update user profile, and then let me just say updating user. All right, so that's it. So let's see. Okay, now so right now, next one to work on now is next one to work on now is this. Now, so also I want to add the bio field. Remember, I want to update the user bio, the user's job title, the user's profile picture, as well as the username, the first name and the last name. So I want to add. So right now we are not, so to update the user profile, we are going to remove these two fields, the password and the confirm password field, because we are not updating the password. You're only updating the user's information like the username, first name, last name, bio. I said bio, right? After bio, the job title, the profile picture. So we are going to add three extra fields for the update profile form. Remember, this form we have here is the same form we are using to create new users. Hope you understand. They're both the same form. So right now, I'll try remove the, right now, this is how we are going to remove the password fields now. So we are the family. I'll maybe reduce the text the size a bit. So so here's the confirm password field. I'll simply wrap it now. I'll wrap it up. It's not meant to show wrongly, so I'll just wrap it up now, and I'll say if update form is true, simply ignore the confirm password field. That's it. Simply ignore it. The same thing applies to our password field. If update form is true, you simply ignore the password field also. That's it. And then you can see now, right now we have the username, the first name and the last name. So right now, how do we add the other fields like the bio, the job title? It's simple. So right now, let's add the bio. I'm going to add the job title field, the field that captures the user's job title. Okay, where are we going to add this field now? That's going to be just under the last name, just before the password field. Before you do that, you're going to simply put in our curly braces, and then we're going to say if update form, if it is true, then we're going to simply display this job title field. It's as simple as that. So because we don't want this job title field on the sign up page, on the sign up form, right? So all we are trying to do now, so we have the updates, we have the job title field now. Go down to the browser, you click on it. Right now, you can see we have the username, the first name, last name, job title. This is for the update profile. So let's add the bio quickly. Okay, so now I've added the job title, and then let's add the bio just down here. I'll say update profile, update form, right? Is it update form? Yeah, update form, and I'll say, and yeah, that's the job title. Let's import the text area. So the text area is coming from our chat CN. Yeah, so we already imported text area on top. So let's see what it looks like. So you have the bio right now. So the last field you want to add is a profile picture field. Let's add that quickly. So just under the bio field, you're going to add the profile picture. That's going to be update profile. Update profile. Am I correct? See update profile, update form rather. So right now I'm adding the profile picture field. So we've got it already now. So yeah, so let's see. Perfect. Now, so we've got our profile form X looking good. So what's the next phase? Now, the next thing is for us to display the default values of this field. If there are any default value, we would like to display the default value of this field. So it's simple. Back to our code now. Remember, in the sign up page, we had to simply pass this prop called user info. And this user info is an object that contains the first name, the last name, the username, the user's bio, the user's job title, the user's profile picture. So this object, the object called user info, contains all these fields. So since it contains all these fields, if you check closely, all our fields here, their name matches. For example, the username, we have the username field, is the same name we have in our objects called in this time. We also have the first name field. So their name matches with the same name in the object. So right now, I'm going to give our use form a default value. I'm going to say default value, default values. Right now, just say if update info. So that's name. If user info rather. If user info. Right. I want to just simply display user info, else an empty object. So that's it. Let's see. Open the form. You can see now we have the default. Right now, you can see we have the current information of the user. We have the form pre-filled with the user's current information. That's perfect, right? So right now, what's the next step? Next step for us to simply update the user profile. So let's work on that next. So right now it's time for us to update the profile in real time. So right now I'm going to go over to our backend code. Let's see what it looks like. So for you to update the profile, the URL is called update user. Update user, right? Here's the URL. Let's see what the views looks like. Update user. Oh, we already have the tutorial on this backend. The tutorial is on YouTube already. So I'm going to add a link to the backend playlist in this video's description, so you can check it out. And if you're interested, you can always see how it is being done on the backend. So here is the view. It's called update user profile. Right. So let's see the URL. Yeah. So that's what it is. Update user profile. And then let's see the serializers. Let me check the name of it's called update user profile. Update user profile. Okay, perfect. So right now it's time for us to call our function on the front end. So there's URL. URL is called update user. Simple endpoint. Back to our code. Over to API blog.js. We can just say export async. Now say function update user or update profile. As usual, We're going to be expecting the data. Remember, we are meant to pass the data to the backend to update the profile. We're going to say try. We're going to use a try, and then we're going to say const response should be equal to. Let me just say await API.put. Right, the URL is called updates. Let's be sure again what is called. It's called update user. Just copy that. And then I'll put in a / and then this, and then passing. Yeah, that's it. That's just it. Sorry. We are going to pass our data by the side. Just put a comma there. And then we're going to return a response. I'm going to say return response the data. And for the, then I'm going to say catch. If there's any error, so I'm going to check first if there's error.response. If error.response has a much more descriptive error message. I'm going to say throw new error. Show new error. I'll say error.response the data.message. If it does not exist, we just simply say failed to update profile. Yeah, else if there is no error.response, we just throw our usual error. We'll say throw new error. Let's say error.message. So that's it. Okay, that's it already. So that's our backend logic. So back to the front end on the profile page, not on the profile page, but on the sign up page, right? Remember our sign up page is doing two things. It is creating a new user and it can also update an existing user. So I'll just create a new, I'm going to say const updates profile mutation. Updates profile mutation, you can give it whatever name you like. Now say use mutation, right? Now say mutation function rather should be equal to, I'm going to say updates profile. Remember, we're expecting a data. I'm going to pass our data on both sides. Yeah, so once it's done now, so once there is a success, what should we do? So I'm going to say on success, we just simply say toast.success. I'm going to simply just say profile updated successfully. If the submission was successful, we want to also close the modal. So how do we do that? So we have to pass in this toggle modal as a prop over to our sign up page. I want to toggle the modal. I want to simply close the modal. We have to receive it here. So we have to call it here. And we want to also do what? So right now, we want to also make the changes reflect ASAP. Yes, I want to make your changes, I want to make it reflect ASAP. So we have to call this query key again. We have to call this exact query key. We have to trigger it again to refresh. So whenever you make a change, it reflects on the profile page ASAP, quickly. You get, so we are going to call it now, and it's called. So to do that, over to our sign up page now, we're going to simply import the use query clients, right? So we're going to just say, const query clients. That's coming from React. It's coming from the React query library. We're going to say for const query client should be equal to use query clients. Here is it. And then we're going to come over here. I'm going to say query clients dot invalidate queries. Then we're going to simply pass in the query key. The query key is remember what I called back to your profile page. Here's a query key. Copy this. Remember, the username is meant to be it's gonna be username is gonna be user info.username, right? So that was gonna be if the submission is successful, you're gonna have all this code here activated. They are all gonna be triggered. So so right now we're gonna listen for an error. I'm gonna say an error. So we're going to just simply return a toast message that say going to say toast.error. Just say toast.error. That's the error message you're going to receive from here. Remember, the error is coming from the API blog. Right, the returned error is what you are going to just simply display on our page. You understand? Toast.error. So that's it now. So over to this onSubmit. So here's what we call the function. Over to this onSubmit. I'm going to say if if updates form, so I'm going to just simply console.log data first. Else, so if it is not an update form, that means it is a create form, right? So we're going to just simply call this mutation. So let's see if everything is going fine here first. So click here. So just let's open the console. I want to make sure this is. I want to just see if we can submit this data. Click on update user profile. Okay, it's asking for saying trying to say your profile picture is required. So right now I don't want to make right now profile picture is not going to be necessary. So I'm going to go over to the form. Where do we have our profile picture again? Profile picture won't be necessary this time. Shouldn't be important. Shouldn't be required. If you don't pass it, there is no problem. So I'll just come over here. Where do we have the required? I'll just set this to false. So that means you don't need you don't need this error message. So now let's try submitting. Okay, perfect. I think it's working. It's working. But we are not meant to pass. Okay, it's working. It's working. It's working. So we have the username, we have the profile picture. Is this really working? I'll confirm? Let me just change this to Mr. Cleansing and then submit. Okay, it's working. We have Mr. Cleansing here. Okay, yeah. So this is the actual data from the form. So right now I want to simply pass this, want to simply send this data to the backend. That's what we want to do. Right, so now we're going to do that right away. So in order to do this now, we are going to use the form data. That's because right now we are also having an image file. A user can decide to append to add an image. So we cannot just use the normal data. We have to use the form data. Hope you understand. So back to the onSubmit function. Yeah, we're going to just say const form data should be equal to new form data. We're going to then say form data dot append. I'm going to append the username. That's going to be data.username. I'm going to just copy this. It's called form data, not form dates. I'll just let's just copy this, Ctrl C, paste here. And then we'll just duplicate this for the other fields. I'll say form data.append let's say first name. The same thing for the last name. The same thing for our job title. For our bio. And lastly, for the profile picture, our profile picture will be slightly different because we cannot just append any wrong data. We have to be careful while appending data for images or for files using form data. So before we append anything for the profile picture, we have to do this. So we're going to check if data dot profile picture dot profile picture. I'm also going to check this right now. This data dot profile picture returns a file list. So this right now, this data dot profile picture returns a file list, right? So and that file list now, I want to simply pick out the first image, the first file we have there. So we are checking. Right now we are checking if the file list exists, and then we go, after checking if the and after checking if the file list exists, we want to also check if we want to also check for the first file in the file list. I'm going to say data.profile picture, then square bracket 0. So remember, we cannot check for this without having checked for the file list. That's why we have to do both of them. Then I'll come over and say if this is not equal to, if the first value is not equal to, if this is not equal to, and it is forward slash, we did the same thing while trying to update a blog post, right? If it is not equal to that, we are going to just say form data dot append profile picture. Then we'll just say passing this value, the first file in the, we are going to pass the first file in the file list. It's as simple as that. So that's it now. And then we have to simply call the update profile rotation. Just copy it. You say dot mutate, and then we'll pass in the form data. And I hope this works. Let's try it. Let's click on your update user profile. Click on it. It says 41 unauthorized. We're meant to get that error message. We're meant to have the error message pop up. Let's try. Let's say tools.error. Sorry, it's going to be tools.error. Let's try this. Let's try it now. Currently, the user is not logged. So currently now the user has been logged out. Sorry, our token has expired. What is happening here? Well, expecting us to get something, but okay. If you're not logged in, okay, I get now. So let's log in back again and try again. I'm going to close this. Let's log in back. If you refresh the page now, you see that this has just refresh the page. You can see now the token has expired. So I'm going to work on this now. Whenever the token expires, you're going to get redirected to this to the login page. I'm going to work on that. I will find the hack for that. I've not figured it out yet. Well, I will. So let's log in as Clinton. So before you can, so if you're not logged in, you can't make a request to that update profile to the update profile endpoint if you're not logged in. So we're logged in right now. So back to Clinton's profile. Let me just open the console. Okay, let's see. So click on the pen icon. I'm going to say Mr. Clinton. Let's be sure this is updating. Okay, click on update user profile. Right now it says 400 bad requests. I was expecting the error message to pop up, but it's not popping up. What's going on? Let me just say an error occurred. We need to see the error message, very important. But it's not showing anything. Let's see. Okay, so right now let's see what the error message is saying. You can see it's being consoled out here. Click on one of it, go down to requests, just scroll down. Okay, we are passing this. Let's see what the response is. Click here. It says it's submitted. It says enter a valid username. Okay, it says it's submitted it. Right now it complained about the file we're submitting. I thought we undo that here. It's not meant to throw that error again. It should be not equal to, not equal to, not equal to, right? It should be not equal to, not equal to. So back here. So I want to close this, guys, delete this. I'm expecting to see an error message. It's still through another error. Let's see. It says we should enter a valid username. So Mr. Clinton is not valid. Let's just say Mr. Clinton. So let's try again. Right now it says profile updated successfully. We are not sure if it's updated. Let's try again. Let's come over here and I'm going to simply change the user's profile picture. Let's change. I'm going to use the girl's picture this time. Let's say show yourself. Okay, for the folder, let's use this girl's picture and then update profile. Okay, perfect. I can see it's updated now. So we're able to update our profile. But there is still a challenge. There is a challenge somewhere. We are meant to see, right? If I input a wrong username right now, let me just try something like this now. Update profile. I'm expecting to see the error message pop up, but it's not popping up. So let's work on that. So right now, let's try updating the user's profile again. So right now, I want to also display the error message that is that. I want to also display the error message that comes up, that pops up, right? So over to our sign up page. So we have to say, so over here, I have to say toast.error then dot error message, right? This is to give us the actual error message. Let's try it again. So I'm going to input an invalid username. Let's try something that is in the wrong format. So you're not meant to have a space in the username. You're not meant to have space like this. So let's try and submit. It says failed to update profile. It says failed to update profile. And where is this coming from? Go back to our API blog.js file. You can see we said if there's error.response, give us the error response.data.message. If this does not exist, then simply return failed to update profile. And if you check out our error response, if you check out our error response, we don't have this message attributes. We don't have it there. So that's why we have to have, that's why we add this order, that's why we add failed to update profile. That's why we have it there, you get. So that's it now. That's it. But I was thinking, let's console.log error. Let's console.log error message. Let's see let's console it out. So let's try updating again. Remember, this username is invalid. There's not meant to be a space in between the words. So right now, I just console the entire error message, the entire error. You can see now what we have is the message. We have this request failed with status code 400. Right, so if we check, right, we also have the response. This is the response. Remember this error.response we're talking about here. We have the response over here. Here is it again. I saw it just now. Here's the response. So I'm going to open that response now. So yes, click on this arrow. You can see now the response has data, but the data does not have what? It does not have the message. It doesn't have message. What it has is this username. and the username is an array, right? So it's quite tricky. Let's try and see what we can do here. I'm going to say if error.response, simply return error.response or data, then dots, what's the next thing? Error.response or data.username, and then the username is an object. It's an object with an array, right? This username now this username we have here is an array, right? So I'm going to just simply just say the first value in the array, right? So let's see what's going to give us this time. Submit. Right now it tells you that enter a valid username. This value may contain only letters, numbers. You can see now it's giving us the actual error message, right? So that's it for the username. And if I import right now I'm going to simply impute a right now I want to update this profile. I want to update some other things. Just come over here. I'll change the name to, let me just, the username is going to be called, the username is going to be Clinton this time. The first name is okay. The last name, I'm going to say Clinton. Okay, the last name is also fine. The job title will now be front-end developer, and I'll change the bio to something valid. Yeah, so, and I'll change the profile picture to something, to a male profile picture. So you understand? I think, yeah, let's go back to what we were using before. Now let's update. Right now we can update our profile. Click on update user profile. It says updated, right? But over here, there is no change yet. Okay, let's try again. There is no change yet. There was no change at all. What went wrong? Okay, now it just changed right now. It changed the profile picture, but the bio hasn't changed yet. Update profile. Perfect. The bio has changed. But let's say again, this should be front-end developer. Front-end developer. And I click on update user profile. This did not change. It's meant to be front-end developer. Let's see. Refresh the page. Let's see. Okay, I think there's a problem here. There's a problem there. Let's see. I think it's called job title. Job title. Let's simply go down to our browser. Over to our browser. So I want to simply console. Go down to your profile. Okay, let's go back to our sign up page, which is this now. I want to simply console.log. Where are you? User. Okay, here we are. I will simply console out our user info. Let me see the fields it contain. Console.log user info. Okay, once I open this, now we'll have it. Okay, now we have, look at what we have here. Okay, it's called job title, right? Job title. Let's see what we are passing to the back end from the front end. Let's go back to our sign up form. I called the field job title. Job title is also the name, but it is not updating it. It's called job title from here. Let's check the backend serializer. Oh, there is no job title on the backend serializer. There is no job title on the backend serializer. So I'm going to add job title right now. There's meant to, we also add job title over here. Because we check, I'm going to over to our user model. We have job title there. So we have to add job title to our serializer. So I think that should work now. So this should be front-end developer and not product designer, front-end developer. And then update profile. You can see it has changed, right? So I want to also add a loading spinner whenever we are updating profile. Let's add a loading indicator. So it's simple. Back to your code. So in the button region, in our button, in this update user, in this upper button, so remember what we are using is for the updating of profile. We are using a different mutation called. We're using a different mutation. Let's check. We're using a different mutation called update profile mutation. So yeah, it's not all we're using for updating profiles, right? So we're going to come over here and change the name of the mutation we are using here. Okay, it's up here. Change the name to this. Yes. Let's try updating the user again. I just say cleansing in maker, right? I just change my last name. Just of this user profile. I can see this. You can see just change now cleansing the maker, right? So right now I just showed you how you can update a user's profile. So we're done with user updating. So in the next episode, we are going to work on deployments. I think we are nearing the end of the series. So see you in the next episode.